Dana White's Contender Series Week 3. These are the full card predictions and betting tips. I am looking forward to breaking this card down. I think it should be a pretty good one. Make sure you guys smash the hell out of that like button. I need at least 120 likes on this full card breakdown. Also, guys, turn on those post notifications. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new here. Let's get into this first fight of the night for the Contender Series. All the way down at the bottom. Got some women's MMA action here. Flyweight division, which is a weight class that is always, looking for new talent inside of the UFC. Both girls have some solid skill sets. On one side, you have a girl in Julia who has a very good jiu-jitsu game. I would say that's definitely her strong suit, but does have a Muay Thai style of striking. And is capable on the feet. Definitely is not outclassed by every girl on the feet like some pure grapplers are. No, she has quality enough striking. Now, I feel like her physical strength is definitely an edge in this fight, potentially if they clinch up. Forward style pressure, and also does do pretty good clinching against the cage, working towards trips, takedowns from there, trying to get on top. But her opponent, Jasmine Jasudavicius, very difficult last name to pronounce, is a pretty good lanky kickboxer. Now, she's going to have a bit of a range advantage, 5'7" to 5'2". Very good kicks from the longer range, also good straight punches, and she does start pretty fast. Now, stylistically, I think Jasmine also does have a pretty decent Muay Thai skill set, which makes her strong in the clinch. Though her opponent, probably the better pure jiu-jitsu fighter, I think that Jasmine's range, her experience in the clinch and strength in the clinch there should be able to fend off a lot of the takedown attempts by the shorter fighter. It's not going to be easy, but I believe Jasmine Jasudavicius wins this fight. I do believe she does it by a decision. That name is extremely hard to pronounce and maybe botched. We're going to have to hear how they say it on the Contender Series. Now, Jasmine is a slight favorite, -116 to +115. I like Jasmine here. I do think the fight probably goes the distance. Over 1.5, -350. I like that play. I like Jasmine to win by a decision, +170. Now, her opponent, Polastri, does have a good submission game, so maybe you think about Polastri wins by sub, +1,000, potential sprinkle. We'll go Jasmine to win the first fight of the night, women's flyweight division bout. And we'll see if either of these girls get a contract. Dana White's been handing out a lot of them. Won't be shocked if the winner of that fight gets a contract if they look any bit impressive. Now, next fight, welterweight division collision. You have Della Maddalena versus Ange Loosa. Switzerland striker is Ange, and he is very powerful. KO power in the hands is serious, but also does have some really good physical strength. Now, his opponent, Della, good experience, 9-2 record, decent kickboxing skill set, and slick Brazilian jiu-jitsu when fights do get to the floor. You see him on his back. He's going to threaten you from the back with sweeps, submission attempts, and transitions. You have to be very cautious on the ground. Also, striking does have some pretty decent hooks and overhands. Physical strength edge, though, and definitely athleticism edge for Ange Loosa. I think he's the more explosive and athletic guy for sure. And he also has definitely a clear-cut power advantage. Also, his ground and pound is ferocious. Even if Della has good jiu-jitsu, you start getting punched in the face. That jiu-jitsu skill set is going to drop consistently with that. I believe the power puncher, Ange Loosa, wins this fight. I think he'll get the KO. I think it'll be in the second round, but it's not an easy matchup. You look at the odds for this one. Ange Loosa is a slight underdog in this one. He's sitting at +130. Della up at -130, the favorite. I like the underdog, Ange. I think the power is what leads him to victory here. I think fight ends inside the distance. Is minus money. I mean, they're expecting it to. I think Loosa KO TKO +300. That's a pretty solid play. If Della was to win the fight, the submission prop +1,200 is another one. Submission-wise, you have to look at those sub-props when guys have decent jiu-jitsu games, but I think the physical strength will be too much. I like Loosa, knockout win. I do think second round KO. Under 2.5, -190, I think is a casher here. And yeah, we're riding with Ange Loosa to win this bout. I think he'll get the KO win. No issues on the scales for either guy. Didn't really sway the pick at all. Both guys, though, coming in actually really good shape. You could see visible cuts in the abs for these welterweights. I'm excited to see how they look, man, because good prospects. This is a really fun Contender Series card, and you look, there's a lot of international fighters. Now, next fight of the night, Łukasz Brzeski versus Dylan Potter. Immediately, you watch Łukasz Brzeski, his skill set striking is going to stand out. He's very good with his kickboxing. He controls range at a high level, and he's really light on his feet. Good straight punches, also nice counter-striking skills. What worries me? Gas tank issues. You see him get tired in the past. Now, coming into this fight, you're fighting Dylan Potter. Might not be the most technically sound guy in the world. Might not be the best striker. He has a pretty wide stance, really susceptible to low kicks, but I would say he is a skilled kickboxer nonetheless. Good straight punches. Does have a pretty nasty body kick, which he'll go for from range. Not a super athletic guy, but a very durable and well-conditioned guy. Łukasz will win the first round. But if Potter can survive a round and a half here, I think that's where he wins. I think he will. He's not a guy that gets easily finished. He hasn't been finished in some time. Close loss to Myron Dennis by a split decision. Granted, a little bit of a size disadvantage with the height and the weight. He's weighing in, about 25 pounds less than his opponent here. I just feel like the gas tank, Dylan Potter, if he survives, potential live bet. I think if live betting is available for your bookie, this is one of the fights where you want to look towards live betting. If it goes past that second, even round and a half, you got to start thinking Potter. I'm thinking Potter gets a third round KO TKO of Łukasz Brzeski here. Should be impressive, and it's a fight that I'm actually really excited for. The heavyweight division, but both guys more so light heavyweights, though Potter in his last one did miss weight, which is why now he's up a weight class, taking on Łukasz Brzeski. We'll go Potter. Upset. This is a big upset, too. You definitely have to respect the dogs with the Contender Series because a lot of these guys not super proven. You see these widespread odds and you start thinking it's a lock. Does not mean so. Brzeski is probably the better fighter, but gas tank durability, they go a long way here. Dylan Potter, plus 290. Łukasz Brzeski, minus 250. I like the plus 290 underdog. And I think a late KO TKO, I think you can really cash nicely with the over 1.5 here. So assuming Potter does survive, over 2.5 plus 155, not touching it. Potter KO TKO plus 650. It's not expected to happen, but I do think it will. It's a fight that I'm very excited to watch. I'm really impressed by both guys. I actually like the skill sets of both. So may the best man win it. I think they both have options. If Brzeski can get him out of there, he wins the fight. But Potter's not going to go down easy. I think that Potter gets Brzeski tired, losing the first round and a half, coming back, winning by knockout in the third round, which would be a massive upset for this Contender Series fight. Very exciting matchup nonetheless. And I do believe light heavyweight division needs some guys. I think both these guys will be willing to drop back down to light heavyweight, at least potentially so, maybe not. But I wouldn't be shocked if they did. They do have experience in that light heavyweight division. You look at the last fight for Potter, it was at heavyweight. But prior to that, he fought Myron at light heavyweight. Myron Dennis, former Ultimate Fighter veteran. And that was not that long ago. It was in November of 2020. And Brzeski, same type of thing. He has experience down a weight class. I think Potter can get the upset in this matchup against a pretty strong favorite and exciting Polish prospect, Łukasz Brzeski. Definitely not a lock of the night, but an underdog play nonetheless. And a fight that I really think delivers. And the winner probably getting a UFC contract. If impressive. I mean, everybody's been getting contracts lately. Now we have a 6-fight card. Do they give out 6 contracts? We'll find out. Next fight of the night. If you haven't, smash the hell out of that like button. We need at least 120 likes on this full card breakdown. It is Albert Duraev versus Caio Bittencourt. Now, Caio is jacked. Incredible physique, but this is not bodybuilding. He looks good. He's had a very long layoff. Granted, his opponent has as well. Muay Thai experience for Caio Bittencourt. Power striker, doesn't have a ton of footage, unfortunately, on him, but from what I've seen, knockout power, submission game for sure. Lack of quality opponents in his victories, which I feel like is a real factor. On the other side, Albert Duraev is a pretty fast-handed striker with a really good wrestling skill set. He's going to look to set up his wrestling with strikes, and when he gets on top, extraordinarily heavy, he's going to look to pass to dominant position. From there, potentially work towards submission or ground and pound. I think he'll get some nice ground and pound off here. I think Caio's toughness will help him survive early, but I think late first round TKO, Albert Duraev, and I do believe he'll earn himself a UFC contract with a victory here. I'm excited to see it. Not enough high-level experience for Caio Bittencourt. I think Albert Duraev exposes that here and gets himself a pretty impressive win. He's a strong favorite, minus 300, plus 290. I like fight ends inside the distance for sure. Minus 260, minus 265. Duraev wins inside the distance. Minus 130 would be a smarter play here instead of just risking it on the KO TKO, because maybe potentially he locks up a submission of a very hurt Bittencourt. But KO TKO is plus 185. Submission plus 300. I like the inside the distance. You're paying a little bit more for it, but you're saving yourself the risk here. Let's go. Albert Duraev win inside the distance, predicting KO TKO late first round for Albert Duraev in this matchup. Now, co-main event of the evening. Okay, this is a really interesting fight. I do know Brandon Lewis. I have seen him train in person. I have been alongside him, seen him train, and he has skills, man. The guy is a real fighter. Now, Mo Miller, he fights too, obviously 5-0, does not have the same long extending martial arts background. Brandon Lewis has been training a very long time in pure mixed martial arts, good amount of amateur experience, 5-0 as a pro, had a layoff due to some injuries and surgeries. Mo Miller, beast of a wrestler, very big guy, 5'8", lanky, guy with very forward pressure wrestling. He's physically really strong. Brandon Lewis has very good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills. He's very capable off of his back. He's got excellent kick striking. Technical martial arts wise, Brandon Lewis has an edge. You look at the lines, they have Mo Miller as a massive favorite. Brandon Lewis being extraordinarily slept on here. Granted, his last fight, he had a little bit of a difficult time with, a 2-0 fighter, but that was his first fight back after years off due to injury. The kid now should have some of that ring rust worn off. I think he's really going to go out here and have a pretty solid performance. Now, probably a bit of bias having a personal connection to him. I feel like Brandon Lewis can get an upset win here. I think he could potentially knock out Mo Miller with a head kick or win this fight on a hard-fought decision, but Mo's wrestling will be an issue. Would I be shocked if Mo just holds him against the cage, takes him down, lays in praise, and is able to score points towards a decision? No. I'd be disappointed seeing it. I think Brandon Lewis can win. I'm riding Brandon Lewis, but maybe you don't want to 100% take my word for it because I have the bias of actually knowing the guy. So obviously, this is one of those fights where it's going to be harder to call. I've seen the man in training. His kicks are insane. His jiu-jitsu skills, insane. Heart. I think he can pull it off. I think he can get the upset, but it's not an easy one. It's not a lock of the night. A little personal bias for sure, having known him. But I think he can defeat Mo Miller. Mo Miller's a fantastic wrestler, but Brandon Lewis, overall, the more dynamic mixed martial artist, though. Size disadvantage, most definitely. Wrestling disadvantage, most definitely. We'll go Brandon Lewis. Maybe not one you want to bet. I know a lot of people are going to be on Mo Miller on the other side. Totally understandable. Maybe this is one of those fights where you don't want to take my word for it, and I understand why you wouldn't, because I'm on the side of a guy that I do know. Lewis to win. I'm not going to be propping it up. Potential dog play on Lewis with a little bit. Don't want to go crazy, though. I think I just want to enjoy this matchup. Mo Miller, if he were to win, probably decision, right? Mo Miller is a very dominant wrestler. If he were to win a decision, Mo Miller plus 240. Brandon Lewis is not going down easy. He's not. I think it would go the distance if Mo wins it. I think it could go the distance even if Lewis wins it on a competitive split decision. We'll find out. This is another one. Maybe you want to live bet it. If Brandon Lewis can start stopping those takedowns, if he can threaten with submissions from his back, if he can find a way back up to his feet to work his striking, he has a chance here. I'm going Brandon Lewis upset. Personal bias, probably. But I think he can beat Mo Miller in this matchup. Mo hasn't shown me this amazing skill set, just super athletic and really good wrestling. Brandon Lewis, upset. Huge underdog. Next fight of the night. Jailton Almeida versus Nasrudinov. Smash the like button. We need at least 120 likes up in here. Much love to everybody tuning in. Subscribe, turn on the post notifications. If you guys are new here, let's talk about this main event. This is a main event that we have to pay close attention to because I really feel like they want to sign the winner of this fight. On one side, you have Jailton Almeida, pretty decent with his striking, a Thai kickboxing style, though chin is up a little bit high, susceptible to overhands potentially, but he does have excellent grappling skills, consistently competes in grappling. He claims to have a Khabib-esque style. His nasty jiu-jitsu could carry him through here against Nasrudinov, who's a pretty patient striker with really solid kickboxing, good wrestling. He sets up his shots incredibly well, gets on top, and has ferocious ground and pound. Heavy top pressure. You know, I like Jailton Almeida, what he brings to the table, and he's a pretty big-size underdog, but I don't want to just jump on him because he's the underdog. Nasrudinov should win this bout, and I do think he could potentially get a decision win or a late TKO. I'm leaning decision, though. Nasrudinov. He's going to beat Jailton Almeida. He needs to fight incredibly smart here, though, and he needs to avoid the jiu-jitsu skill set. And if he's on top, minus P's and Q's. You look at a lot of these Russian fighters, they're able to get on top of their opponents and, pass the guard and do superior work to a lot of these jiu-jitsu guys. But Jailton Almeida is no easy one. I still think Nasrudinov can pull this off. He'll win the bout. He's a favorite here, minus 200. Looking at over 1.5, minus 155. I like over 1.5 potentially. Fight goes the distance. Fight ends inside the distance, minus 195. Nasrudinov, KO, TKO, plus 135. I definitely could see that. Nasrudinov decision, plus 300. Not loving the props here personally. Value on Nasrudinov, potential parlay edition, or a straight bet. I think he wins this fight against Jailton Almeida. Pretty decent Contender Series card overall. There's a lot of fighters from all over. They're finding great prospects. I'm loving the Contender Series. I cannot wait to watch this card in full tomorrow. Guys, smash the hell out of that like button. And I do want to send you off with a quick little parlay. Nothing too insane. We're not going to go absolutely nuts with it, but we'll look at some potential plays that we can do here. You could go Albert Duraev, and maybe we go Jasmine, plus 130, but you don't want to bet women's MMA. You're nervous about that. Nasrudinov, minus 106, and if you like an underdog, I think you can go Dylan Potter upset, plus 621, or if potentially available, maybe you go over 1.5, plus 145. I'm really thinking with the parlays, with the Contender Series, guys, we got to keep it minimal. We got to keep it extraordinarily safe side of things. I do think this fight, it's definitely going over a round and a half. I think that could be plus 229. Nasrudinov over 1.5 with the Lewis Mo Miller fight, and Duraev plus 229. I don't want to give you a crazy parlay. This is not the card that you really want to throw all your money at. Let's save it for UFC and Bellator. Bellator breakdown coming at you guys tomorrow. Cannot wait to break that card down. Much love to everybody who tunes into the show. Smash the hell out of the like button. Subscribe if you're new here. Turn on those post notifications. I appreciate everybody. Much love to all my people who tune in. Thank you all so much, and I will see you all in the next video.